While we're on the subject of liquid cosh, Largactyl, we had a lad called Jacob come in.
Here we go.
Yeah, but this I need to tell you this because it is a good
I
ending.
love it. I'm being sarcastic.
So Jacob...
No, not you, Shaun. Okay,
I'll tell you what, you two carry on.
I'm sorry, bro, I'm sorry.
So Jacob come to us straight off the street. Police arrested him. Very short time. They couldn't get him. He actually come in a police van into prison. Normally, police station, court come to us. Yeah. So they brought him. They couldn't manage him. It was quite an handful. So we got him straight to healthcare. He bypassed the reception process pretty much. They brought him in, violent prisoner, straight on healthcare, unwell. He was, I don't know whether he was having a psychotic episode, whether he was on drugs or whatever. He was fucking fucked up. So he comes on, we put him in a cell, usual, tried to strip search him. He's having none of it. Anyway, we ended up fighting with him. On the floor, more staff, clothes off him, strip searched him. We come out of the cell. So he's bollock naked straight away, this lad. If I explain this, the cell's a little bit, prison cell on healthcare, a little bit bigger than a family bathroom. So imagine you've got a fixed bed, yeah, opposite the bed, down alongside the cell. You've got a side where they normally have a TV. At the bottom of the bed, you've got a toilet and a sink, yeah. So this lad, he's only been with us half an hour. He's got all his kit off. He's running from the bed, jumping onto the sink, jumping onto the side, and he's like that.
Spider-Man.
Fast. I'm watching him, I'm thinking he's going to lose his nuts or something because he's going to slip.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's at this for 2 days. Yeah. And we decided we need to go in and try and get some diazepam down him. So we made a decision on the healthcare, spontaneous that we were going to go in, not get kitted up. Yeah. So we ended up trying to restrain him. And we also need to move him cell. I've remembered now why we went in. The cell stunk horrendous. You imagine someone who's super dehydrated and mentally unwell have their own smell anyway. It was stinking the landing out.
Yeah.
Urine, whatever. It was awful. It was making your eyes water. So as least trauma to him as we could, restrained him and put in another cell so we could clean that out. That's why we went in, I remember now. It continued this. Now, you can go without food for weeks, days. We had a lad go 84 days without food, taking liquid. When they're really mentally unwell and they're not taking, and as active as he was, and not taking liquid, they become dehydrated, his mouth's white, his lips are white, and they can have an heart attack. It's stress on the body. And he's running around non-stop. So over a couple of days...
How many days would that say to get like that?
He was like that coming in. I'll tell you about another lad in a bit who went from...
How's he getting the energy if he's not eating and drinking?
People who are mentally unwell, they'd say Hmong strength. I mean, that's not politically correct. But again, it's not, it's not slighting people or anything like that. It's something, I don't know where they find it. Max, not mentally unwell. Your lad Jack, who took spice, my mate said, there's 3 of them trying to put one of his arms in an arm lock and he was like steel. So you don't know where they get it. So this lad Jacob is going round now. He's restrained twice more of it next 2 days. The same thing, the stinking the landing out and moved him out. But the fight's going out of him. The third time he was restrained, my manager Brad has said, look, he's incredibly unwell, this lad. If you don't handle him right, he's going to have a fucking heart attack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was done as gentle as possible. Anyway, we had an outside doctor in. Our doctor had been to see him and would not authorise the injection. I think we had an outside doctor come in and look at him for the emergency section. This doctor, who, again, I won't embarrass him, but he was one of the better psychiatrists to come, that we work with. Come in, took one look, and it's like, why are we waiting? So got kitted up, within 15 minutes we're in, bam, he gets a jab. 2 days later, he's going to hospital. 2 days later, because he's pretty much out cold for 2 days. 2 days later, he's had a shower. He's got dressed. Comes out of the cell. You all right, boss? Yeah, you all right, lad? Yeah. Where am I going? You're going to hospital. Is that all right? Yeah, fine. You know, thank the staff for looking after him, and away he goes. But he could have died. And it took 5 days like that. My manager, who's, you know, one of my best mates now, and was then, in fact, all the healthcare staff, the nurse and that, were traumatised because they could see what was happening and they were powerless to do anything. Do you know what I mean? Being somebody who works with mental health, I mean, Brad has worked 40 years with mental health, watching a lad like that, knowing what he needed. Because if it had been in a secure unit, it'd have been flattened, coshed and put in seclusion, which is like a special cell, you know, somewhere where they can't harm themselves.
But the prison doctor could have given that and he didn't.
No, he wouldn't. They wouldn't. They won't make a decision. They don't have to make a decision, so they won't make a decision. That, from our point of view, is very frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not pleasant to see either. So
doctors are just reluctant because if he dies, they're going to get a lawsuit then on their ass.
possibly, you know, somebody needs to look at that, and it should be a provision that's there more readily. Normally, it was given when an outside doctor come in who was doing an assessment. This guy obviously looked at him and said, "Fucking hell." Well, obviously didn't swear because he was a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like common like myself. But
Oh, blimey.
you know, fucking hell, get in, flatten him. Let's get him. Let's knock him out.
It's the anti-psychotic shot. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was out cold. They used to
Yeah.
get that normal people, normal prisoners, troublesome prisoners like Wildman and that. You know what I mean?
Bronson.
Yeah, Bronson. he'll have had it loads of times, that lad. And I saw another podcast, London's most prolific bank robber, as a youngster, where they were injecting, you know, young offenders full of testosterone and that. Bam.
Was that Neil Razor Smith?
Yep.
Noel Razor Smith.
Yeah, that's the one.
James English podcast.
Yeah, that's
Shout
the
out
one.
to James English podcast.
Yeah,
That podcast.
James
brother.
English. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, recommend people watch that one.
Very
Yeah.
good. But as he said, you know, they were doing that then. They were giving it young persons, teenagers. So it was more readily available. I'm not saying
In
they shouldn't
America,
be doing that.
they didn't have to come into your cell either. They had like a trank gun with like a dart.
Well,
like for the animals in a way, you know what I mean?
Danny G. What would they have done with Danny G? If they really wanted to go in, they'd have probably chucked some gas in, gassed him or whatever, and then gone in and dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know, they have more things available. They don't have human rights. You know, we have procedures which sometimes, working with the mentally health, hindered the job. You know, Jack, what he wanted seriously was just flatten him, you know, sit on him, do whatever, put 40 staff on him so he can't take his eyes out and smash himself to bits, and then work from there, preserve life.
Stun grenades are the best in America. That'd put the whole dorm would just stop.
Pyrotechnics, you know, they are available, but the nationals, you know, it's all hush-hush stuff. They're like the SAS of the prison service. They live and die and train to deal with, you know, hostage situations and things like that. They're the only people in the prison service who have pyrotechnics available to them.